What's up guys, my name is Umu, I'm React to the K channel creator, I also play French horn, and today I'm going to have a very special guest with me. There are a few people on this channel who call themselves ATEEZ, however, one very special one will be joining me today. I know a lot of you were looking forward to maybe seeing Charlotte react with me, but Charlotte's working a full-time job, so when I texted her, hey, want to react to ATEEZ and Stray Kids come back with me this week? She was like, you're joking, right? So she'll not be joining us. But this young lady came to see ATEEZ with me and suffered through driving in New York City during rush hour just to see them. So let's all give her a warm welcome.
Yes, my name is Elizabeth, and I am from the Classical Musicians React series. I play the French horn. I also study film music a little bit. Yeah.
And she's followed into the ATEEZ pit hole with me after seeing them live in New York.
Yeah, that was like my first K-pop concert, and I've never looked back. I am ready. I have not heard any of this. This is my genuine reaction, y'all.
I second that. Same. 3, 2, Wonderland.
Ooh. I like when they're hype right off the bat.
Oh, that was the beginning. Oh my gosh.
I like how it's like kind of grungy and you feel like it should be in minor, but it's definitely a major.
It's kind of a mixture of their intro to their first album, that string part.
Oh yeah.
Adventure pirate theme.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sounds like they have some modal stuff going on.
There's always modal stuff. It's like fake brass. They're getting that like dubsteppy, like hype feel. Ooh, I like this post-chorus thing. They're so well dressed!
Where did we go? This is, I thought, I was like, oh, I know where we're gonna go. This fake drop, and then it's gonna go, but this is not what I expected.
Is this even the same as the last verse? Oh my
god! It's a marching band, but not with a marching mojo. I feel bad for French horn players who actually have to march with a concert French horn. Oh my god.
I don't like marching, but I would have marched in this video if they asked.
So
this is so weird. There's so many different like things happening.
This is already
there's like percussion. Like listen to the like bell percussion happening right now. What
we already need to listen to this a second time. It sounds like woodwinds playing in unison with the string line right now.
I don't think any of it's real.
No, it would be synth MIDI. This is so cool because it goes halftime, and then you think it would go back to double time,
and then they gotta do the thing that they do where they like triplet rap into the next section. They did that. That's like the Hakuna Matata thing all over again.
But it continues in halftime.
How are they so talented?
Yeah, we've got the marching snare, but it's a singular snare, not drum line.
Yeah. Yes!
Okay.
This is completely new material, but this is so hype. You got like the drums on the backbeat, which is like, yes.
We need an Everglow audio mashup with this.
Yes, and then they gotta get the like at the end. I feel like that's very ATEEZ.
Yo. Okay, so I've said this before, I'll say it again. There are two main things that makes me there's many things that makes me an ATEEZ. But like the two main things that drew me to ATEEZ was first, they play it safe musically. They play it safe, but they also introduce fresh and interesting things.
Yeah.
So they're able to reach a wide audience because they use sounds that I don't recognize. They go in a slightly different direction than I thought they were gonna go. And then the second thing is just that they're brilliant, energetic performers. Like,
yeah, they're so good. Yeah, this fell into the K-pop category of like every single section was like wildly different when it came to like instrumentation and even rhythm. I feel like a lot of the beats were very different in like even like the verse section versus the pre-chorus section. Like I feel like it was different every time, so they were definitely playing with our expectations. And like you're saying, like they play it safe musically, like it's all crowd-pleasing stuff. So like, yeah, the EDM kind of stuff, like that's all stuff that people genuinely want to listen to. It's just they like mash it up in such a way that it's like very surprising every time something new comes in.
Yeah, and so what I was thinking about for the last 30 seconds of this song is that there is a trend going on in K-pop ever since Blackpink released Kill This Love. Very spacious, it's very March-like. We have kind of some modal stuff going on. We have lots of emphasis on drumline or snare, and we've got a constant beat that you can have like a shout-like hook over.
Yeah.
And so we've also heard that in Everglow's audios. I keep wanting to say goodbye audios because that's goodbye audios, because that's the hook. So I'm just, but the title's audios. And then that's what I've noticed a lot in this very last section is we can all like see the similarities between those songs. And I could it's just like how last year Latin pop music was a thing that a lot of K-pop groups picked up on.
Yeah.
And now we have this March-like, badass, kind of modal type of upbeat song. Let's go back in and listen to that a second time. I was quite overwhelmed the first time through, so I know I missed a lot. Let's do it.
Yeah,
go for it.
Let's do it.
And I can't we can't hear each other at all when I have these in. Because they're as noise blocking as those are. 3, 2, second time through. And we have the lyrics on, FYI.
Oh, they're like grunting too.
I thought this was an instrumental intro at first, not the actual song. Yeah, that's what makes it feel so uplifting is because of the major key at that point. What a wild sound is that? I love how rhythmic the vocal line is.
Yeah. That's such a trending K-pop right now. To have like very rhythmic singing.
Double time again.
It's kind of a little bit of like a lazy downbeat.
Yeah.
Like it feels they're not exactly in time. It's a little slow.
It's like and now we're in a different rhythmic area.
Yeah. Now we have the drum sets as opposed to like a snare. Yeah, see, this is kind of like a pre-chorus, a little bit, but it's so different than the last.
It's a verse.
Is it?
Yeah, because that was still the post-chorus and then pre-chorus.
Here we go. All right, you're right. But still, the verses were so different.
Yeah, that's a. Well, I'll talk about it afterwards. I love this section.
So they just like ignored the chorus. They just ignored the chorus. Okay, fine.
And I love the thick harmonies in the vocal part. They aren't like ninth chords or anything, but enough. Of course, we got Jungkook coming in for some power vocals.
Yeah.
Let me change. the chorus the last time it comes. Da, 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 da. Da 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 da. There's so much I want to talk about but I don't want to make this video like 30 minutes long. This is also incredibly in ATEEZ style. Something that I've noticed, if you remember, what is that? You know where they have that slow, sudden triple like da da da.
It's very specific. Thanks, Jungwoo.
It's the third chorus during Pirate King. So what I've noticed is part of ATEEZ's sound is rhythmic, sudden rhythmic interruptions of what is going on. And so, like in Pirate King, we've got da 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 da. Since they're such strong performers, they can go from dancing one vibe to suddenly interrupting with some like spastic quicker rhythms, and then back to that old vibe. And so that's what I was noticing in the third chorus of this, where we had some like parts where the music would start going da 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 da, and when we were in slower, it's just to emphasize, I think, the dance too, because K-pop really is thinking outside in. What is this group known for performance-wise? What is their choreography style like? Let's create a song to support that.
And they're all about choreography, is the thing. Like, I think one of their strongest things when they perform is their choreography is very tight and very impressive. And so, like, any ways in which they can incorporate rhythm into the song, so that's, like, so effective.
Okay, so during our second listen, Elizabeth, when the second verse came, was like, oh, is this a pre-chorus? This sounds so different. And something that we have learned from hanging with K-pop songwriters during KCON is that K-pop companies tend to often ask for the second verse to be changed in some way. Sometimes they want the second verse to be something completely different. And so that's what we have here. We have absolutely no similar material to what had appeared before. And I think the second verse happens to be my favorite because not only is Yeosang in it, but also like all those cool sounds, and it's like a total rhythmic and textural change. That was so awesome. It's one of the ones where like 2 listens won't do it justice.
They'll call you at 3 a.m. like a couple nights from now, like, oh my god, did you hear this?
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see y'all later. Bye.